Agriculture Research Council of Nigerian Television. My name is Joshua Ishao. Welcome to the program Aqua Farming. For those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, Aqua Farming is a program that brings you all you need to know that is in the water, be it fish, shrimps, crabs, all aquatic animals are discussed on how they are being raised and cultivated. In fact, sometimes we bring to you aquatic plants. And today we're going to be looking at one aquatic plant that is popular among the aquatic plant, which is mushroom. Mushroom is the fruiting body of a particular group of macrofungi which can be found growing above or beneath the topsoil, seen macroscopically with the unaided eye are often collected for food or medicine. Mushrooms are highly valued for their distinctive taste and nutritious nature. They are delicious food regarded as a good protein source and rich in vitamins, minerals, and most essential amino acids. In some continents, like Europe and Africa inclusive, mushrooms are usually collected from the wild and are used directly as food or added to soups, stews, tea, and even be used as a replacement for meats. Take a look of how mushroom is being cultivated. Mushrooms are highly nutritious basidiomycetes that are artificially cultivated on lignocellulosic waste materials. They are poor in fat and calories but known to be rich in minerals, protein, and crude fiber. Mushrooms has a broad geographical distribution, being the earliest form of fungi that has been incorporated into cultural diets. In Nigeria, several people living in the rural areas plus a few in the urban region can identify edible mushrooms growing in the wild, some of which have been exploited for income, food, and medicine. Until recently, many edible and medicinal mushrooms have been sourced from the wild forests since there are very few commercial mushroom farms, especially in Nigeria. This could be partly due to less craving for mushroom due to microphobic attitudes or preference for the naturally wild and uncultivated species available for sale in some parts of the country. Mushrooms are yet to be fully utilized due to low enlightenment, limited spawn availability, especially in Nigeria, and poor preservation method. However, regular mushroom consumption can supply essential nutrients and prevent malnutrition. These review enlightens and dual role of mushrooms as a food and drug, its diversity and its current status in Nigeria. The mycorrhizal group occurring in symbiotic occasion on certain tree species such as Tuber melanocosporum and Tricoloma mastutec. The second group are commonly found in association with the insects such as termites. The third group exists as parasites, deriving food substrates from living animals and plants, thus causing a massive loss to these hosts. Examples of these include Coremafloratus, a tree pathogen causing the white rot of hardwood trees. The saprophytes obtain nutrients from dead organic materials including Platurus, sp. and Latinus. There are well over 300 generations of mushrooms and related fleshy basidiamides. Notably in Nigeria, Osun State is endowed with many taminosaurs. At the same time, Ore in Ondo State is home to Plotorus tubergium, Agaricus marasmius. Some wild mushrooms are often available for sale in these selected places seasonally. There are diverse mushroom species in the West, while northern Nigeria have very few, if any at all. The word mushroom encompasses diverse types of fungi. Mushroom can be edible or poisonous, large with the pillows up to 30 centimeters wide. Some mushrooms produce additional underground sclerotia below the ground surface, while others only produce fruiting bodies above the soil surface. From the ecological point of view, mushrooms can be broadly classified into four. Mushrooms are considered as superfood, rich in protein, vitamins, and dietary fiber. They constitute a source of vitamin D that is non-animal based, thus can be consumed by vegetarians. Mushrooms are poor in fat and calories but rich in minerals. A lot of mushrooms are consumed and treasured for their exotic taste, economic and ecological values, coupled with various therapeutic properties over the years. Generally, mushrooms are composed of approximately 10 and 90% dry matter and water respectively. They are rich in fatty acid, mainly oleic, palmitic, and linoleic acid. Mushrooms have high moisture content and are rich in amino acid. In addition, they have high mineral content, mainly magnesium, potassium, zinc, phosphorus, iron, copper, and calcium. Sugar content includes fructose, mannitol, trehalose, glucose, and is also rich in vitamins such as thiam, pathogenic acid, riboflavin, niacin, and folic acid. About 2,400 years ago, Hippocrates advised that let food be your medicine and your medicine your food. Mushrooms have dual usage. They are used for foods, likewise good medicine. Usually functional foods are available as food as part of the main diet for consumption to derive some psychological or physical fees resulting in the overall wellness and disease prevention of management. On the other hand, nutraceutically are taken as capsule, pills, syrup or tablet that is partially or wholly purified extract or dehydrated biomass of either the fruiting body or mycelia for therapeutic applications. However, some authors believe that the two terms undoubtedly refer to the same thing. Dietary supplement, some inherent bioactive compounds have been linked to the wide application of mushrooms in the prevention of management of disease and health problems, whether as nutraceutical or functional food. Some of these bioactive molecules and their associated functions have been demonstrated by many researchers in different parts of the world. Past studies have shown that some lipids extracted from Plotorus generatus fatty acid, essential fatty acid, and saturated fatty acid displayed antibacterial and antifungal activities. Teratopoids and sesquiponians, notable hepatoprotective and anti-cancer effects. Lentinan was reported to enhance human immunity. Additionally, specific polysaccharide extract from Grifola frondosa, ostratus, and tuber germ have been used to cure hypertension, diet from several diseases, and also protect the liver as functional food. Mushrooms have been collected, domesticated, and used by men in some countries. Mushrooms that have been used in Japan, Nigeria, and China include Schizophyllin commune, Clitoris auratus, Tubergium genadona, Loxodinum lentius, Squasorurus grifola frondosa, Inonototus obliquus, Lyncnus edots, and Tramestes varicose. Most of these mushrooms are rich in essential fatty acids. Nutritionally, dietary lipids are essential due to their functions in the body. These include thermal insulation, energy reserve, and protection of internal organs. Humans cannot sensitize linoleic and linoleic acid. Thus, they constitute the essential lipids or fatty acids that must be obtained through the diets. Mushrooms hunting has existed for many years and is carried out primarily by women and children in folk medicines. Mushrooms have been used since ancient times and are referred to by some as the ultimate health food. Approximately 25 species of mushrooms are known to be edible based on the knowledge inherited from the age group via oral communication. When these edible mushrooms are sourced from farmlands, forests, and plantations, they are sold smoked, sun-dried, or cooked fresh. Lately, some mushrooms are dried and powdered for use as flour in soups. Fresh mushrooms cooked by treating with warm salty water and necessary ingredients such as chopped onions, oiled tomatoes and pepper, or cooked along with vegetables. Some of the African populace rely on wild edible mushrooms, which has significantly hindered the advancement of commercial mushroom farming, despite the available mushroom resources. To date, there are very few interests in commercial cultivation of mushrooms. In Nigeria, mushrooms cannot be purchased from many supermarket stores. The populace is probably unaware of the health benefits of consuming mushrooms or little quantity produced by a few involved in its cultivation. Also, another factor that can hinder its prospect is the poor harvest preservation method, as many delicious mushrooms such as Tamasius breeds maggot if kept for more than 24 hours. However, in developed countries, wild mushrooms are preserved in bream or frozen, while they are commonly dried for future use in Nigeria. It is important to determine other preservation techniques applicable to different mushrooms in Nigeria and other developing countries. Nigeria is gradually appreciating the science and practice of mushroom cultivation as an enjoyable agricultural activity included in the Youth and Women Empowerment Program. This will positively influence the economic livelihood of farmers, poor citizens, laborers. One significant benefit of mushroom cultivation is that most agricultural substrates, hydro regarded as waste, are required for production, are available at little or no cost. Most of this waste includes hoops, fibers, constitutes a nuisance and born from farmers instead of burning these waste can be bioconverted towards mushroom farming, thus preventing air pollution. In addition, when pilot scale mushrooms are cultivated, its practice jobs could be created for youth and village women. Why isn't the availability of these nature's gift as a nutritious source of high quality protein, vitamins and minerals? The bioactive metabolites extracted from mushrooms' fruiting bodies also enhance consumers' fitness and general health status. Mushrooms are potential export commodities. Sclerotia of fruiting bodies can be sold on local markets to improve the farmer's standard of living or export if they meet the international export standards, improving the country's economic status. Volvarella volvacia, other one mushroom, have a concise life cycle and could grow to full maturity within a few weeks. This favorably increase the income generated by mushroom farmers within a short period. Mushroom farming is an art that can be proven scientifically, while the art is perfected through practical experience. The science is developed by researchers. Nigeria's government and researchers have been trying to enlighten the populace on the benefit of mushroom consumption, but there is still much to be done. This has been raised previously. However, there is no available document that will show that the number of mushrooms produced and exported in forestat statistics in Nigeria. Although there are fundamental principles involving mushroom production in the past years, further developed species, specifically farming method, has recently led to species improvements such as the effect of substrate type, growth condition, and species genetic components on the macrotoxical potentials of mushroom have been previously established. Agricultural, industrial waste, and domestic waste are abundantly available in Nigeria and can be used as a substrate for mushroom cultivation. Some of these substrates, especially plant straws, can be presented by soaking in water containing Ca2 overnight before autoclaving, other substances such as wood shavings or sawdust are left to ferment in heaps for some days to eliminate certain undesirable spoilage microorganisms. Various pre-treatment stages help minimize contamination risks and create suitable growth medium for the increased mushroom yield. The foremost importance is that mushrooms do not have cholesterol, instead contains ergosterol that act as a precursor for vitamin D synthesis in human body. Mushrooms are believed to help fight against cancer, relieve hypertension, impart protection from heart diseases. Mushroom crop is in fact a boon that can solve several problems like the protein malnutrition, unemployment issues, and environmental pollution. Mushrooms are cultivated indoors and do not require arable land. A mushroom is a short duration crop which with high yield per unit. For small farmers and landless workers, mushroom cultivation is highly suitable for the economic and social security of this group. This high-tech horticultural venture relieves the pressure on arable land because its cultivation is indoor and is also more suited to the women folk. Mushrooms supplement and complement the nutritional deficiencies and are regarded as the highest producers of protein per unit area and almost 100 times more than the conventional agriculture and animal husbandry. At present, in Nigeria, the annual production of mushroom is around 11,000 tons. Bottom mushroom account for 7,500 tons. Oyster mushroom account for 27,000 tons and milky mushroom contributes for 800 tons. During the past 2 decades, the Mushroom Research and Training Center of the Department of Plant Pathology, Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, Cambodia, made tremendous effort in transfer of mushroom cultivation technology by imparting training by these. It has contributed for the establishment of about 50 spawn producers and 600 oyster mushroom growers accounting for 78 tons per day. Mushrooms represent microbial technology that recycles agricultural residues into food and manure, a solid-state fermentation system in which crop residues are converted into valuable food rich in microbial protein. These are important sources of quality protein, minerals, and various novel compounds of medicinal value. Do not compare for land and have very high productivity per unit area and time. These are considered to be the highest protein per unit area and time due to utilization of vertical space and short crop cycle due to their cultivation under controlled conditions. The water requirement is less than any other crop grown in the field and has all the potentials of a major crop in coming years. Mushroom farming today is being practiced in more than 100 countries and the production is increasing at an annual rate of 6 to 7 in some developed countries of Europe and America. Mushroom farming has attained the status of a high-tech industry with which high level of mechanization and automation. China leads in mushroom production, and China alone is reported to grow more than 20 different types of mushrooms at commercial scale. And mushroom cultivation has become China's 6th largest industry. The USA is the 2nd largest producer of mushrooms, sharing 16% of the world output. Presently, 3 geographical regions, Europe, America, and East Asia, contribute about 96% of the world mushroom production. With the rise in the income level, the demand for mushroom at very low cost, with the health of seasonal growing, states subsidize and capturing the protein markets in the world. The processed mushroom at cost are not remunerative to the growers in other mushroom producing countries. Commercial production of edible mushroom represents unique exploitation of the microbial technology for the bioconversion of the agricultural, industrial, forestry, and household waste into nutrition and potential food. Nigeria can emerge as a major player in mushroom production in wake up of availability of plenty agricultural residues and labor. Now let's go into preparation of farming mushroom. Step 1. Making mushroom compost. Phase 1 composting is initiated by mixing and weighting the ingredients as they are stacked in a rectangular pile with a tight side and a loose center. Normally, the bulk ingredients are put through a compost tunnel. Water is sprayed into the horse manure or synthetic compost as these materials move through the tunnel. Nitrogen supplement and gypsum are spread over the top of the bulk ingredients and are thoroughly mixed by the tunnel. Once the pile is wetted and formed, aerobic fermentation commences as a result of the growth and production of microorganisms which occur naturally in the bulk ingredient. Heat ammonia and carbon dioxide are released as byproducts during the process. The use of forced aeration, where the compost is placed and accounts for the forced passage of air via a plunger nozzles or spigot located in the floor, has become nearly universal in the mushroom industry. Mushroom compost, developed as a chemical nature of raw ingredients, is converted by the activity of microorganisms, heat, and some heat-releasing chemicals reactions. These events result in a food source most suited for the growth of the mushroom to the exclusion of other fungi and bacteria. There must be adequate moisture, oxygen, nitrogen, and carbohydrate present through the process, or else the process will stop. This is why water and supplement are added periodically and the compost pile is aerated as it moves through the water. The quality of raw materials used to make mushrooms compost highly variable and are known as influence compost performance in terms of spawn brown and mushroom yield. The geographical source of wheat straw, the variety winter, and the use of nitrogen fertilizer, plant growth regulator, and fumigicide may affect compost productivity. The wheat straw should be stored under the cover, minimize growth of unwanted and potentially detrimental fungi and bacteria prior to its use to produce compost. The initial compost pile should be 5 to 6 feet wide, 5 to 6 feet high, and as long as necessary. A two-sided box can be used to form the pile trick, although some tinners are equipped with a ricker, so a box isn't needed. The sides of the pie should be firm and dense, yet the center must remain loose throughout phase 1, composting as the straw or hay softens during composting. The material becomes less rigid and compaction can easily occur. If the material becomes too compact in the traditional phase, a process air cannot move through the pile and an anaerobic environment will develop. The problem of an anaerobic center core in the compost has largely been overcome by using forced aeration. Turning and watering are done approximately 2 to 3 day interval, but not unless the pile is hot. Turning provides opportunity to water, aerate, and mix the ingredient, as well as it relocates the straw of hay from a cooler to a warmer area in the pile, outside versus inside. Now, let's go to the step 2 of farming mushroom, finishing the compost. There are two major purposes to phase 2 composting. Pasteurization is necessary to kill any insect, nematode, pest fungi, or other pests that may be present in the compost. And second, it is necessary condition to decompose and remove the ammonia that formed during the phase 1 composting. Ammonia at the end of phase 2 in a concentration higher than 0.7% is often inhibitory to mushroom spawn growth, thus it must be removed. Generally, a person can smell ammonia when the concentration is above 0.10%. It takes place in one of the three places, depending on the type of production system used. For the zone system of growing compost is packed into wooden tray. These trays are stacked 6 to 8 height and are moved into an environmentally controlled phase 2 room. Thereafter, the trays are moved to special rooms is designed to provide the optimal environment for each step of the mushroom growing process. With a bed system, the compost is placed directly in the bed, which are in the room used for all steps of crop culture. The most recently introduced system, the box system, is one of which the compost is placed in an uninsulated tunnel with a perforated floor and computer control aeration. The compost that are placed in bed trays or box should be filled uniformly in depth and density, but compost density should allow the gas exchange since ammonia and carbon dioxide will be replaced by the air. Thanks for staying through on Agriculture Research Council of Nigerian Television. Of course, we've been discussing mushroom. Of course, mushroom is a nutritious healthy food rich in protein, essential fatty acid, minerals, and phytochemicals. However, its consumption in Nigeria is limited probably by scarcity, partly due to seasonal variations, microphobic attitudes, species identification problems, poor funding, documentation, and management. To make mushroom production an enticing enterprise, there is a need to educate, which is what we are doing today in aqua farming, the rich and the poor populace on the nutritional legal improvements of mushroom consumption to do. Many thanks for staying with us here. My name remains Joshua Ishaya, thanking you for being a part of the program Aqua Farming. Bye for now.